Anti-Afro Svengalis. I'm going to give this brief intro before I let you hear Conscious TV. You see at the top, this is about the individual whose name or nickname is FUPA. You're going to hear the word FUPA when Conscious TV starts to talk. He's giving an update on Larry Reid's victory in federal court, holding FUPA in contempt. And you're going to hear some areas that I touched on earlier. For the first time, CTV is going to go into detail. And the cautionary tale is this: you come on to YouTube, we're going to speak specifically about YouTube, and say whatever the heck you want to say for the purposes of people rallying around you when you're getting immediate gratification for it, and the information is not factual. There are consequences to that. And this is a perfect example. So I don't want to spoil what Conscious TV has to say. It's going to be quite interesting. So be certain that you don't touch that dial after you hear buyer beware.
Yikes. I've never spoken about this until today. So you guys are going to get quite a bit of an exclusive. Okay? Remember, I read to you guys FUPA's defense, right? And what he used in the courts was this idea that I am Larry's employee, etc., and that Larry has me out here being his goon, etc., and that this drove him, okay, to attempt to get a protective order against me. Now, at the time that all of this was going on, I never gave my side. I knew everything would come full circle, and I thought it was quite comical, to be quite honest. But let me tell you guys what happened, okay? FUPA got mad that his name got tied up all in the criminal justice system, just got all tied up because of his own actions, his own actions that he doubled down on. So as a retaliation tactic, he attempted to get me, breaking the culture of silence, and Knockout Media's name tied up into this case as just to make us frustrated, okay? When that didn't work, because in his initial countersuit against Larry that was dismissed and thrown out, he listed me and breaking the culture of silence and Knockout Media in this entanglement that was between him and Larry, okay? What FUPA never told the courts was that, separate from Larry, he had also harassed and attempted to cyberbully 3 other grown-ass people, just like he attempted to do Larry. He kept that context from his litigation with Larry. He never told the judge, oh yeah, I also did the same shit to 3 other people on the internet. Yikes. Never did, okay? He just maintained this false narrative that I was Larry's goon and breaking the culture, and Knockout Media was Larry's goon. We were doing his dirty work. So then what happened was FUPA was so enraged, girl, that he went up and took a job at a mayor's office. What's in the mayor's office? Not a mayor's office. It was a district attorney's office, and he decided to be the paralegal, okay? And he only wanted this paralegal job at the attorney's office because he wanted to be able to access LexisNexis, okay, to further dox anybody within his range, okay? During this time, he was threatening breaking the culture and threatening myself and threatening Knockout Media with using their database to collect our information. I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit, bitch. Dox away, ho. The bitch can't even dox properly, okay? So he did just that. Well, when he did just that, Knockout Media and Breaking the Culture separately came for the neck of his job and effectively got his motherfucking ass fired because the attorney's office opened up an investigation from PR, and not only did they find that he doxed me, he doxed Breaking the Culture, he doxed Knockout Media, the Negro also doxed other his co-workers that he didn't like on the job, and he doxed the the mayor of Ohio. The fucking mayor of, oh yeah, HR was keeping us well informed about everything they were doing because they did not want us to tip off this ninja. They didn't want us to tip off. So I was sitting back watching the Karate Kids knockout media and breaking the culture, rightfully so, come for his job because he was using their database illegally and unethically. He had no authorization to use any of their resources for his own personal menacing and terrorism, okay? And they had every right to contact HR about his conduct and open up an investigation. Problems he wouldn't have had he actually just did his goddamn job and kept his personal foolishness to his goddamn self, okay? So he lost the job, and then the job opened up an investigation against him. So he kind of went into hiding, okay? Now, in his hiding, he got more angry and more frustrated, and he decided, you know what? My narcissism is not going to let me take this L. I got to do something, bitch. So he attempted to get a protective order against myself and another compadre at the time. Okay? Now, when I first learned or heard about this, I contacted the Ohio courts because this was just after the country started opening itself up, etc. Bitch, I was about to fly to fucking Ohio. I wouldn't have gave a damn if it was for a murder trial. Okay? I was not about to use my resources, my money, and commit my time to going and argue in court with a motherfucker I don't give a fuck about and don't fucking know. Don't fucking know, don't give a fuck about. Okay? And I was damn sure not about to go to my enemy's territory because, bitch, he would have had at-home advantage, okay? This person would have been able to follow me back to my hotel or have somebody else do it. We're talking about a very sick person who's now weaponizing the criminal justice system against the people he's actually victimizing, okay? So I contacted the Ohio courts, etc., to ask them what the process was, and they assured me that even if I did not show up for court, that would not result in a default win, that the plaintiff would still have to prove their plight, etc., that he would have to prove why he's in need of a protective order, blah, 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 okay? I was like, all right, now keep in mind, Ohio court had already rejected his initial filing because they said that it just was not enough evidence, okay, for them to give him a trial and to grant him a protective order against little old me, the green hair wearing gremlin and goblin, little old gay me. You're talking about big gunner with all the arsenal and bullets and all of the machinery and all the butter knives and with all the aggression and testosterone, need a protective order against little old fabulous open blazer, pink hair wearing me, little old gay ass me. I'm dangerous now. All of a sudden, girl. My God, I was low key flattered. Okay, so he got his day in court without my black ass being there. Okay, and he told the judge a bunch of damn lies, etc. Provided no proof behind anything he said. I was shown, okay, what he had submitted to the courts, okay, because he tried to get a protective order against another person as well. And do you know that this person stood in front of a district judge, you all, and told the judge that I utilized magic and the occult to unalive his father, that I caught his job multiple times, that I called and harassed his mother, that I threatened his life, etc. CTV. And guess what? Didn't bear a single lick of proof to back a single motherfucking thing up. Just able to sit in court is that I had retained a lawyer. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to be able to give away the technicality that made the protective order invalid, because we know the ops are listening. They're in the building right now, okay? And we don't help them to get ahead of anything. But he failed to do something. And failing to do what he did rendered his protective order completely null and void. So there is no protective order. I can bounce through Ohio. I can do what the fuck I shall, which is what I've been doing. While he's been out here yabba dabba doing about needing a protective order for little old gay ass me, who's out here using witchcraft to unalive people's parents and pets and things. Okay, badass occultic witch. All right. So I was cackling this whole time, just having him out here spin these narratives, okay, and feeling so ballsy about himself, because it was really cringy. Out of desperation, he tried to weaponize the criminal justice system against me, but it actually made him look like a coward. It made him look psychotic, because everybody on these streets know that he's the aggressor and he's the terrorist, etc. And if anybody needed a damn protective order, it was me all these years. And I didn't even think to get one, because I double dared a bitch to be about that life. We know I'm about that life. Because, see, when I get out here and play, after people call my name like Candyman 5 times in the mirror, and then I finally step out the mirror, everybody wants to go to calling 911. Everyone wants to go seeing a judge. Everybody wants to, all of a sudden now, nobody wants to play with CTV. When CTV's ready to play back, everybody want to go get lawyers and they need protection. But I be sitting over here cute and cuddly and as sweet as Alabama pie, minding my little old business. And then when I come off of the screen and I give you that work, all of a sudden, now I'm trying to figure out why folk don't want to play when I play back. Just why? Anywho, that's what he did. Now let me show you God in the litigation. At the time, I was so annoyed with the criminal justice system. I already knew that Ohio was raggedy as hell any damn way. It led me to believe and see for myself that the criminal justice system does not protect victims. They don't provide necessary infrastructure to protect victims. They actually make things worse for the people who are actually the victims in the dynamic. But at that time, I had no idea how God was about to use me and my proximity to this case as someone who has been lead reporting on all of Larry's litigations since he has had litigations out here on these YouTube streets. I had no idea that God was setting it up for a bigger picture. At the time, I was just on my rebel shit, on my this is America shit. But now everything has come full circle. In lieu of what I just said, you guys, do you guys now understand what happened in this victory on Larry's behalf? This man lied and committed perjury to the courts, claimed that Larry violated the injunction, that I was an employee of Larry and doing his dirty work for him, and then used the illegitimate the illegitimate protective order he put against me allegedly to argue and legitimize his claim in his case with Larry that I am indeed the aggressor. and that I am indeed working on behalf of Larry, which his protective order didn't prove either. And do you know, as a result of him attempting to get a fake-ass protective order put out on me, it was actually the variable that made the courts lean in to siding and favoring Larry in this case, because they took his own words in his protective order case against me and said, sir, first of all, we don't give a damn if CTV is an employee of Larry. That doesn't violate a damn thing, because it would have been after the injunction. It would have been after all of this. And Larry can hire who the fuck he wants. He can hand out jobs a meal through this motherfucker if that's what he wants to do. Larry doesn't owe anything to us, the federal courts, in terms of who he hires or non-hires. If he wants to give CTV paid vacation and a 401k, that's his motherfucking job to do. For one, the injunction doesn't prohibit him from hiring CTV. But to matters worse, even if he did, you confront in your separate litigation between yourself and the courts and CTV that all of the harassment that you claim died down, and that it was after the injunction that everything died down. Therefore, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You just essentially told us that CTV complied, and you confronted us that CTV got hired after the fact. So what did the courts do? Lean over to the left. Checkmark victory for Larry there. Then the court said he submitted something that might approve, maybe approve, and they probably were talking about his protective order shit. But what's funny and amazing about the courts is that at this point, they know FUPA just as much as we do. They've been with this case since 2021. And they know he's a liar, he's pathological, he's severely mentally ill, and they've had to chastise him this entire time. On top of that, he was able to upset his own attorney because he lied to his attorney about the facts he claimed he had against the doctor. Matter of fact, those of you who are new to this whole litigation thing, see, my day ones, our day ones are up on game. Y'all new people, you know, it's a wash. But my day ones have been here from the beginning. They can discern the fuck shit from the truth. They also recall a time during litigation between Larry and FUPA that FUPA tried to actually splice up a video that Larry did, trying to make him say something that he did not say in the original upload. I'm going to tell you where I fucked up at. I exposed it before he submitted this falsified evidence to the court. I should have, now that I know better, looking back, I would have let his ass submit that shit so that he could be held in contempt and charged with perjury. But I blew his spot before he ever submitted it.